What's going on, my LLs, my Lubari listeners, my fellow real estate enthusiasts, and fellow real estate professionals? Welcome back to the Lubari Real Estate Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you've been rocking with me for a while, then welcome back. I appreciate you more than you know. Today's episode is titled, Let Them Know What You Do. And this one is simple, but powerful. Because I've noticed something that holds a lot of good people back in real estate and in business in general. Because I see people doing the work, I see them studying the game, they're underwriting deals, and they're raising their standards. But they're quiet. They don't talk about what they do. They don't share what they're building. They don't communicate their vision. Excuse me. And because of that, opportunities pass them by. And it isn't that they weren't qualified, but more so because no one knew. So today we're going to talk about why telling people what you do is not bragging, how clarity creates opportunity, how providing value starts with communication, and how one conversation can completely change your trajectory in real estate, bringing you more visibility, alignment, and value. So let's jump right into it. Right now, let's start with the truth. Most people don't talk about what they do because they don't want to seem salesy, or they don't want to feel like they're bragging. Maybe they think I'm not big enough yet, or they're afraid of being judged. And some people will say, I'll talk about it once I close my first deal, or I'll speak up once I'm more established, or I'll wait until I have proof. But here's the mindset shift that you need to make. You don't wait for opportunity to speak. You speak to create opportunity. And silence doesn't make you humble. It makes you invisible in reality. And in real estate, invisibility is expensive. All right. And here's something that a lot of people don't even realize is that when you clearly communicate what you do, you're helping people help you. I mean, just think about it. If someone doesn't know you invest in multifamily, or that you're looking for off-market deals, or that you work with passive investors, or you partner with brokers and operators, if they don't know that, how would they ever think of you when an opportunity shows up? Because people can't refer what they don't understand. And clarity is a form of value. So when you say, I help investors place capital into stable multifamily assets, or I work with owners who want a clean, respectful exit from their properties, or even I underwrite and acquire value-add apartment buildings in growing markets. You're not being a salesman. You're not selling anything. What you're doing is you're positioning yourself, and positioning attracts alignment. Yes, it does. All right, so let me be very clear about this. You do not build real estate wealth alone. Every deal involves brokers, lenders, property managers, contractors, attorneys, investors, mentors, and partners. And none of these people can find you if you're hiding somewhere under a rock. And some of your biggest opportunities will come from casual conversations, whether that be at the gym, at a networking event, at a family gathering, at church, on a plane, or even in your DMs on social media. But only if people knew what lane you're in. And real estate rewards those who are visible, consistent, and clear. Okay? That's why you need to keep it simple. And a lot of people overthink this part. You don't need a pitch deck. You don't need industry jargon all the time. You don't even need to sound like a hedge fund manager. All you need to do is simply clarify and do that with confidence. You can say simple things like, what do you do? I invest in multifamily real estate. Who do you help? I work with investors who want passive income. Or I help property owners transition out of their assets. Or I partner with operators and capital partners. And then let them know what you're looking for. I'm always open to new deals, relationships, and conversations. And that's it. That's the game right there. So, perfect example. I invest in multifamily real estate. I work with partners and investors to acquire apartment buildings, and I'm always open to good conversations and opportunities. Saying it just like that, you sound clear, you sound calm, and you sound confident. And behind that, there's no pressure and there's no forcing anything. All right. Now, also, the thing about communicating clearly is, and often, is that you never know who's watching. And here is a very powerful truth. Not everyone will respond immediately. However, everyone is listening. The quiet person in the room might be a capital partner, they might be a broker with listings, a future mentor, or someone who knows someone. And they're not gonna just interrupt you and say, "Oh, wow, I have a deal for you right now." But they'll remember you. 6 months down the road, a year later, your name comes up and suddenly you get the call. "Hey, I remember you said you were in real estate, right?" But that only happens if you said it first. And when you're consistent, your consistency will compound. Okay? So, with that being said, this isn't about taking. It's never about taking. It's always about giving. So, when you tell people what you do, you give them context, you give them awareness, and you also give them a chance to connect the dots. And by saying and telling people what you do, you might help someone learn about investing or understand an exit strategy or even discover a solution they didn't even know existed. And that's where value comes in. And value doesn't always mean money. Sometimes creating value for someone means giving them information. And sometimes it's giving them a direction. And sometimes it's just simply giving them confidence. And the more value you give, the stronger your network becomes. So remember this, your network doesn't grow by being impressive. It grows by being useful and creating value within your community. Right? And then also let go of the need for permission. There's this saying that it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. And you don't need permission to talk about what you're building. You don't need validation. You don't need applause. You don't even need everyone to understand, because some people will doubt you. Some people will project their limits onto you, and some people will stay small. But trust and believe me that none of that is of your concern. Your responsibility is to walk in your alignment with your goals and your purpose, to speak with integrity, to stay consistent, and to keep building. Because real confidence isn't loud. It's clear and it's steady. All right, so here's your challenge for the week. Tell 3 people what you do. Not aggressively, not awkwardly, just clearly. And then pay attention to what happens. You never know. You might be surprised how many doors open when you stop hiding your vision. All you have to do is walk in your purpose and let people know what you do. It's literally that simple. And don't be afraid to do it. Because who knows? By you speaking about what you do, you might be really helping someone that needs your assistance. And all you have to do is speak on it. So now we're going to move on to my favorite part of the podcast, which is all about what real estate can do for you. And I'm not going to lie, recently I have had a lot of fun. So this past weekend, I went to and correct me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, but it's an Alvin Ailey show. And it's a African American performative art and dance. And it was much better than I expected. It was my first time. My eyes were open to something new. And the performances were not only like well choreographed, but they also sent like strong messages about, everything that happens in life. And they told stories. And it was just beautiful. Now, I won't lie. The theater that we went to, it was cold outside, but after that first act, well, that theater started heating up. I had to take my blazer off, but it was, speaking for the show itself, it was very enjoyable. And then also, Super Bowl weekend just passed, so I got to enjoy the game and have a good time. And shout out to Bad Bunny for an amazing Super Bowl performance, highlighting not only Puerto Rican culture, but Hispanic culture across the globe. And also stating that the most powerful thing is love. Love is definitely more powerful than hate. So you don't need to hate each other. We can be different and still love each other. All right? So I'm going to say this one time for the one time. Puerto Rico ten cabrón. Ya tú sabes, baby. La isla de encanto. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I was a little sorry. It came out of me. But, yeah. Anyways, I'll leave you with this. Closed mouths don't get fed. Hidden builders don't get found. And quiet potential won't compound. So let them know what you do. Let them know what you're building. And let them know how you provide value. Because everything is always working out for you. But you still have to show up and you still have to speak up. And if this if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And as always, keep building, stay aligned, and I'll see you guys next week. I love you all, and be blessed.